Good morning. So my name is V, and I'll probably be posting this on YouTube, TikTok, maybe Snap, maybe Facebook. But God just woke me up. So first of all, I heard somebody call my name like Veda. I got up. I'm like, okay, God, is that you? And then I started praying. Then I tried to go back to sleep, and I don't know if I dreamt really quick or if it was a vision. I don't know, but I know I just seen a man with a Bible at church. The preacher, man with the Bible open, and I don't know what he was saying, but like right after he said whatever he said, he turned into like this big dragon, and each person in the pew, that was in the seats, he one by one devoured them from their heads to their feet, like swallowed them up, each one. And I woke up and I'm like, okay, I know you are telling me to give my testimony, because just yesterday too, I felt like God was urging me to tell my testimony. I'm like, because he's been telling me to push out content. I've been recording, but I have not posted. And just yesterday, I was watching this guy named Joel. He was telling his testimony, and it did something to my heart, because I used to watch him back in the day before Christ, before he came to Christ. I used to watch a few of his videos with him and his wife and kids. So after listening to his testimony, I'm like, hold on, God, you don't want me to share my testimony. Like I knew I came across the video. First of all, he was on a podcast called We Need to Talk. I see him on that, and I was like, what? I didn't know he changed his life. I didn't know he converted. Well, I ain't gonna say converted. He's always been a Christian, but I didn't know he, was following Christ now. And at the end of the video, I felt this pull, this urge to talk about my testimony. I was like, all right, God, if that's you, you have to confirm that, because I don't want to get into that. I don't want to post the things that I went through. But here I am. So I guess I'll kind of start from the beginning. I'm gonna tell bits and pieces, because I think God wants me to address how some churches are not of God. That's the main thing I believe he wants me to touch on. I truly believe that. And I told myself I would never be that person and go online and talk bad about the church and this, that. Yes, I am a believer. I'm a Christian. I go to, okay, let me just get into the story, y'all. I know this may be everywhere, but bear with me, and I know that God is telling me to push this out. It was an urgency yesterday, and I was like, God, if that's you, if that's really you, because I felt the tug, but I was gripped with so much fear. Like, no, I can't. But if that's you, let me know. And then today, I heard it was like an urgency. Somebody said, Veda. And then I had that vision, and I knew it connected to what I've been through in my past church. So anyways, I grew up in the church. I was baptized at the age of 8, and it was 8 or 9. And, you know, I've always been under teaching. I'm gonna speed up a little bit. At the age of 14, there was this lady I came up under that was going to my church. And I don't know if this is the year she actually joined or what, but she was my mentor. I seen her as my mentor. I was very close to her. I was the closest person to her in the entire church. The closest youth, person in youth. So I was 14 when I came up under her. And she was the head of the dance team. I would always go over her house. She would always, you know, have me around. And I felt connected to her in a way, because I didn't have anybody else like to be around, I guess. And yeah. God, I'm sorry. I feel like he's dragging it out of me, because I really don't want to. Okay. So, you know, I was in the world, out the world, in the world, out the world, you know, doing what I wanted to do. One foot in the church, 1 foot out, 1 foot doing what God's telling me to do, and 1 foot out, lukewarm Christian type of lifestyle. So I let me look at the camera. I keep looking down. So speed up to. So I ended up having kids outside of marriage. I had my first child at 26, I believe. But anyways, so around that time, a whole bunch of demonic things were going on in my life. After I had my first child, no, demonic things used to always happen. Like I would have tormenting dreams, like my whole entire life. I remember when I was, I probably was about, this before I got baptized, I remember I used to have dreams of the whole house being filled with spiders, like huge spiders crawling up the walls and everything, like of things attaching to me, like as a child. This before baptism and after. So I've always was used to like demonic things being around me. Didn't know why, didn't have the courage to open up to anybody about it. But I remember after I had my first child, he was a few months, I moved into my place, and Lord, I wasn't even thinking about the stuff that just came to my mind. I forgot all about this. So the mother from my church at the time, so hold on, let me backtrack. So remember I met the lady in my church. I was under her since I was 14. In my early 20s, she, because I was really close to her, so she was like, I'm just letting you know I'm going to leave the church. It's not about anything, that nothing bad happened or anything. I just felt like God is, you know, leading me to another church. And I was like, oh, really? Why? You know, how come you want to leave? And she was like, I just been praying. I feel like God is leading me somewhere else. And I would never tell you to leave the church, but I just wanted to let you know. And like, it's a lot of stuff I'm learning. through the church and the Bible, and I see that I got some things wrong, and it wouldn't be right for me to come and right my wrongs with you and let you know some of the things that I've taught you were wrong. Like, I interpreted wrong. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so what church is this? Of course, I'm gonna be curious. Like, this is the closest person I'm closer to her than I am to my friends. Okay, so she was like, I'm not gonna ever invite you because I don't want you to, the church to feel like I've tried to pull you out of church or anything. I said, you ain't gonna invite me. I invite myself. Like, I'm gonna come next week. So, eventually, months after, probably like a month after, I ended up leaving my childhood church that I was at since I was like 7, 8 years old. I ended up leaving that church in my 20s to go to that church. And it wasn't necessarily because of her. It was because I liked the church. It was entertaining. And, I thought God was there. I was at a dance team there too. So I was still able to operate in my gifts. No, I knew God before, and I didn't feel like God was telling me not to leave. So, I left the church. And I still knew God at this church too because I had my own relationship with God. So I didn't see it as me like, oh, this is not a good church. I'm not learning anything here because I have my own relationship. So it was very hard for me to see that this church wasn't right because I had my own relationship, which is a good thing. But because I was growing and doing things on my own, knowing God for myself, I didn't see the lack of Bible reading that they had. I didn't know. I didn't see. But in saying all this, God even gave me dreams of this lady praying against me, like being up under my bed. And I'm like, who is that under my bed? Like speaking demonically and then in tongues demonically. And I looked under my bed as her. She grabbed me and I woke up. And I was like, oh, that's from the enemy. That's before I knew what dreams meant and everything. I was like, oh, that's from the devil. She would never. Like, the devil want me to pull away from her. I've had dreams that she wouldn't want to hug me. Like, she'd just be looking at me funny. Man, and I thought this was from the enemy, y'all. I hope y'all following, because I know that I'm everywhere, and my mind is making sense, but I know that I'm back and forth from, yeah. So I started going to her church. It was more based on like grace, non-denominational church. Soon after, because before then I was celibate for a minute, and I got all this grace in me. I'm like, oh, there's grace. I don't know, I just fell into sin, and I ended up getting pregnant. Soon after my pregnancy, like I said, a few months, a lot of demonic things was going on in my house. Also, my child, I only had one child at the time, my child and his little uncle on his dad's side was over, and I remember him looking behind him like, move, like to nothing, okay? But this around the time all the demonic stuff was going on, but God gave him eyes to see, and I needed to see that. He was only 3. It was like, move to whatever was messing with him, okay? Around that time, I was telling my mentor at the time, same mentor since 14, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna pray against that, just sharing my life with this woman. Then later on down the line, I remember that the church mother sent the email out to the church like, there's someone that's homeless. She needs a place to stay. If somebody can give her a place to stay for a little bit, that would be wonderful. We're praying for her, this, that. And me knowing me, of course, I'm like, oh, she could come here. Y'all, I didn't even have no furniture at the time. I had threw stuff out, blah, blah, blah. I just had like my bed and a few things. I didn't have a couch. I'll say that. I just didn't have a couch. I threw that out recently. So I let her come to my place. This around the time my sister was at my place too with her kids. So I was just like, bring her in, you know? She came and I remember I was sleeping, me and my kid, and I just woke up, and then I woke up before my baby. Then my baby started screaming, like screaming. He was hot with a fever. And I'm like, no, let me backtrack. Before that, I would be in deep sleep, like I can't get up, like drowsy, like you know how like it's real hot, you so hot that you don't want to do nothing, and you just dragging, you don't want to get up, you don't want to move. That's how it was. And it wasn't summer, okay? But it was so hot, I was sweating, and like barely can get up. I remember waking up, my door closed by itself. I felt like my door closed by itself, it crack open by itself. And I just never seen it as spiritual. I felt it, but I just didn't know. I'm like, am I tripping? I must be sick. I must be coming out with something. I'm sweating and all. I'm delusional. So, that's when the girl was there. Then the night when my son woke up and he's screaming. Yes. Okay, y'all, sorry about that. Somebody had to use the bathroom, so I had to get out. And I'm speaking low because my baby is still asleep. It's early in the morning, y'all. So, where was I at? Okay, so my baby, like, he broke out with a fever. That morning, the girl that I had staying with me, she was getting ready for her interview. And I put my baby in the tub because he was burning up. I put him in the tub. And when I say she was already there for a little minute, probably about 2 weeks by this time, maybe about 2 weeks. And y'all, I just thought about something that I have to add in. But I'm trying to get my baby cool. And when I say, we didn't even say good morning. I didn't even notice that until I had my baby in the tub. We didn't say good morning to each other or anything. My mind is focused on my baby. She getting ready. So my baby in the tub, and I get him out. The whole time she's putting on her makeup. Like her face is just blank. She's in the mirror, putting on her little makeup and everything. And I'm just like, something is wrong. I just felt like something was wrong. And then my baby's sick. Look, I was just trying to put it together. Then that same day, I lay down with my baby. Had a dream that I was being bitten by snakes. It was 2 snakes. One was just around. The other one I was being bitten by. And I'm like, I knew in my mind, nothing else was going on in the dream, but I knew in my mind it was witchcraft. I knew this. Woke up. She was already gone for her interview. Remember I said my sister was there. My sister and her man and her kids, it was there. And I'm like, y'all, have anything weird been going on in the house? Have y'all noticed anything? Like, I just had a dream that she, you know, old girl was doing, you know, she do witchcraft. Like, I feel like that. I told them about the whole dream. And while I'm telling them, the eyes getting big, and my sister telling her, telling her man, like, tell my sister what you just told me. Tell my sister what you told me last night. And he was like, sis, she told me, because this is why my sister was at work. I probably was in my room or something. It was like, yeah, she told me that she used to do black magic and talking about crows and this, that, and how her man used to do that, but she don't do that no more. She delivered. I'm like, what? I said, why y'all didn't tell me this? He was like, I don't know. I forgot about it. He was like, but I know about them black crows. My mama said this about them. So I looked up what that meant and all that stuff, whatever. And then I said, oh, she got to go. Like, I know she had her job interview. She's trying to get on her feet, but she has to go. So I'm like, y'all help me pack up her stuff because she can't stay here. Like, whoever picked her up, gonna have to take her somewhere else. So I text old girl like, hey, you gonna have to leave. Like, I'm telling her, you gotta leave. Things being revealed to me. She gotta go. Anyways, I seen that she had my towels. She had candles all in the room that I had her in. Just, y'all, I put all of it in the bag. I didn't even want my towels no more. I threw all her stuff in the bag. She came and picked them up. Me, my sister, and her man, we took the bags down the stairs when she came. She came and got them. Last I ever heard of her. Okay. But let me go back. There was one day the friend that she was connected to in the church, because it was a married couple she was connected to, and the wife was like, hey, like, have she said anything about us? I'm like, no, she don't talk bad about y'all or anything. Why would you say that? I'm confused. I'm like, why would you say that? Just kind of know, like, a lot of things been going on, and that's really my husband friend, this, that. I'm like, oh, okay. Not putting it together. I even got a call from the pastor, not the pastor, but the pastor's wife, which was the pastor too. But I got a call from her. She never calls me. Never calls me. She don't call me to see, oh, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, do you pray? God put you on my heart. This was the first time she called me. Ever. And I'm noticing she only always called me when I was going through the most wicked things in my life. Yo, I'm just putting that together. Anyways, she called me. I wasn't even going to talk about all of that because my mind is on the mentor and on the preacher, but I forgot about this. Anyways, she called me like, hey, I've been feeling stuff in the spirit. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. She was like, how's things going with the girl that's in my house? I was like, oh, I'm like, just the other day, she was in my room, like, because I had her in one room, and then I switched her to another room. I was like, and I happened to be walking out the room, and she was in the closet going through my clothes. I'm like, I stopped her, and she was like a deer in headlight. She was like, and then she looked back blank, and I was like, what you doing? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Like, she was just, when I say the fact that she was going through my clothes and then said she don't know why, it did something to me. I'm like, what is going on? But I knew it was off, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, something going on with her, but I don't know. And the pastor, she made a joke, and she was like, if you gotta lay hands, lay hands. And I started cracking up because she meant like fight. Why not pray for me? Why not tell her to get out my house? Tell me to tell her to get out my house. Why not? Why? We don't fight against flesh and blood. That threw me off. But I laughed because it was funny. Fast forward. God's protection was over my life because, baby, fast forward, now I just had my second kid because I'm going through a lot of stuff, not knowing that people casting spells on me and everything. But I'm just like in a dark place. I've had having a lot of. It was very little time that I seen the light, but I'm still trying to listen to God. But I feel like this dark cloud over me. I even told the pastor, the man, pastor, like I felt like it's been a dark cloud over me for a while. He was like, really? I'm like, yes. I don't know what it is. Like even when I come to church, I can't receive anything. Like it's like a block. Like I can't receive anything. And not knowing that was a part of protection, but baby, they had some stuff on me. Fast forward, after I had my second son, y'all, my video just stopped. It literally just stopped. Like, how do you? The video didn't even stop. It was frozen. Anyways, so after my second son, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna seek you. Still feel this dark cloud. And I'm like, all right, God, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to seek you no matter what. I'm reading my word. I'm praying. I'm doing all the things. I'm dancing through my house. I'm praising. I'm got praise and worship on. I am really trying to be as close to God as I can. Demonic stuff starts going on again. I didn't want to tell this stuff because I'm like, some people may not believe this. We live in a spiritual world, y'all. We're just in this flesh. Y'all, the demonic is real. It's real. I dealt with it my whole life. Some people go see this in my family and be like, what? You went through all that? I don't talk about it. Who can I tell? I just seen a demon. They could be like, oh yeah, you gotta go. A mental institution. But, so, oh my God. Why am I so fearful? Lord, take this fear away from me. In Jesus' name. Okay, so one night I'm talking to a friend and I don't remember what we was talking about. But I'm a servant God. I think we probably was talking about God. Then I ended up getting off the phone. My kids were already asleep. I went straight to sleep. I want to say I was like praying in my mind. I was always prayerful. All I know is I seen a demon. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a vision. It was a real demon that was, I guess, trying to smother me because I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I seen a face, like right here on my face. And I was like, ah, I screamed. And I jumped up and I called my mentor. No. I called my friend that I just got the phone with. I said, girl, I just seen a demon. She was like, what? What? And she was like, hold on 1 second. So I ended up hanging up. I called my mentor. She was like, are you serious? She said, oh my God. And I don't know if she like prayed. I don't remember. I think I was just talking. She was like, I felt like people were just like too calm. She was too calm for me to be telling her what I told her. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm gonna say it. I was scared at first, but I'm not even scared. Like, you know, and I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Like, I'm saying this stuff out loud, y'all. It's funny now because the fact that I called her in the midst of this and I'm praising God and she the one that put this stuff on me. I know she like, dang, I didn't expect this. Anyways, fast forward, maybe a few days. And I was going through this for a little minute. I'm still seeking God. I feel a lot of demonic activity around me, in my car, the house, wherever I go. Wherever I go, I feel like I'm being followed by demonic beings everywhere I went, y'all. Then I start being fearful. And I was just super timid, like, my God, where are you? I was too afraid to even like pray out loud. I would pray in my mind because I was just so afraid. Fast forward to there's so much demonic stuff that was happening, y'all, and like the people around, like, I can't even get into a lot of this. I cannot even get into a lot of this. Man, I'm gonna focus on what God was trying to put out here, okay? The church, okay? The church. My pastor never really called me either. Now the woman, like I said, she called me twice when I had demonic activity going on, years apart. Now the husband called me. It's like, hey, I'm not gonna go deep into some things we was talking about, but God had gave me dreams about him before, and I was like, he was touching on something about what he's struggling with, and I'm like, I had a dream about that years ago. He was like, really? He was like, you so prophetic. Why didn't you share that with me? I'm like, I don't know. I kind of thought like it was a little confusing. I didn't really get it, so I prayed. He was like, you so prophetic. Then he called me like for a second time. Now he's telling me things that he shouldn't be telling me. And I'm a little uncomfortable. Right then, I knew it wasn't right. Sorry, God. I see this is not right. What did I get myself into? But I'm still being prayerful because I don't really truly understand. We get off the phone. I can't even say certain things because When I say that God has a plan for your life, with that plan, you have to be seeking Him. You have to know Him. You have to become so close. You have to get inside it. He has to be inside of you. You know how you be like, oh, I just love it so much, I want to get in their skin. Love God that much that you're in Him and He's in you. You're abiding in Him. He's abiding in you. Okay? Because the enemy, some of us don't want to believe it. The enemy has plans for your life. Okay? When I say God allowed me to see so much wickedness in people that were against me in this time, I seen it for what it was. Even though I was being attacked, God allowed me to see things in people around me. It was the scariest thing to look at somebody in their eyes and not see them, but see the demon. Anyways, push past all that. Yeah, I started hearing, not yet. So, one day I was at my sister's house, with my kids, my two boys, and I was just I was being attacked in my mind so bad. And I thought, I was being attacked so bad. So me and my kids left. I'm walking around her neighborhood because I'm like, I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be with my sisters. I didn't want to be home. I just wanted me and my kids because I felt the safest with just me and my kids. I just didn't want to be around anybody. And I was being so deceived. I threw away my phone. I don't know what my plan was, y'all. I threw away my phone. And that night, I called my dad and I'm crying. And he's like, I'm gonna come get you. My sister now see that I done left. She's in her car searching for me. Anyways, everybody then came together and met me where I was, not too far from my sister's house. And hey, what's wrong? Like, everybody like, what is going on? Some people just looking like, you know, all right, this girl on something. And some like, dang, she ain't never went through this. I could see the confusion. Anyways, that day, my daddy took me with him. My kids was left with my sister. And I was just going through it mentally. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. My mind was just going. I ended up going to, I ended up getting picked up by my baby daddy from my dad's. So I was with him. Early that morning, he got in the shower. I left. I went to, my mentor didn't live walking distance from him. I went to her house. She opened the door and looked like she seen a ghost. She also looked different to me too, if I can be honest. Her eyes looked different. Even though so much was going on here, I knew what I was looking at. It's like the enemy had a hold on me, but God was still showing me. I can't explain it, y'all. I cannot explain it. Soon after, well, that day, I went with her to work. I miss so much. I miss so much. My baby just got up. Oh, bumped his head. Kept going. I miss so much. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go back to that. So I went with her to work. Y'all, this is too long. This is too long. Oh, Lord, I think I need to just get to the point. Be concise, because I was all over the place. It may not make any sense. But please follow as much as you can. I went with her to work. The mentor, since I knew since I was 14. We're now at the second church. The same one. I'm at her house. We go to her job. I tell her what I've been going through. I tell her the people that I don't trust. I tell her a whole bunch of stuff. And she's like, really? Oh my God, that is so crazy. What do you think it is? Like, in my mind, I'm knowing she's not doing enough. In my mind, I know she's not doing enough. But I'm like, she looks so concerned. But in my mind, I'm like, she's not doing enough. She, almost like she don't care. Almost like she don't care. She leaves out the room, comes back in the room, and she tells me that my family called her and said if they have me to bring me to the police station. I said, okay. She took me, she was supposed to be taking me to the police station. No, we met up with a friend from the church. One of the guys I told her I didn't trust, because God put something in me. Well, God showed me that he wasn't right, and I didn't know why. The same guy, remember I told you about the girl that came and stayed the night, and the girl that was over? She was doing that witchcraft years before. The wife that I said was close to her and her husband, that husband was the one we met up with. And I'm like, oh, I just told her I didn't trust him. She's like, I just want us to pray for you really quick before we take you to the police station. I said, okay. I get out the car. I'm in the middle. She has one of my hands. He has one of my hands. So I'm like a little toddler in between them. We're walking in the park. They're praying in tongues. They never was praying regular. They was never praying like, God, please protect. They're praying in tongues. And I'm praying in tongues too. And it kept telling me like, no. Kept looking at me like, no. So in my mind, I knew they want me to pray like them. So I'm trying. Y'all, we became in sync. We became in sync to the point we're all praying the same thing in tongues. We go on this walk through the park. It ends. We in the car. They take me to the police station. My family is up there. In my mind, I know it's my family, but I'm confused. When I say it was so cloudy, I know. It's like I knew deep down, I knew the truth. But in my mind, I was confused, y'all. I cannot explain it. Like, that's what it is. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I was warned against, my spirit was warned against the demonic. Like, it was a war, y'all, for my mind. It felt like a literal war against my mind. I remember the police came and asked me, what is your name? Because I'm thinking I'm saying this is my name because God is saying, I'm thinking God is saying this is who you are in the spirit. So they asked me what was my name. I was confused about the realities of it. I'm like, I was confused about what name I should tell them. I don't know why. I remember I looked, I almost said his name. I remember I looked at the guy as if, I don't know why I did that. Now I do, but I didn't know then. I looked at him for like reassurance, like, what is my name? What am I supposed to say? He looked down like, He was looking lost, like looked away. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't know what that was about. I told them the name that I felt like God gave me. They took me right to the mental institution, okay? Stayed there for 10 days. My first day there, I was in the room by myself at first. Minutes. And this, you know what? So I was somewhere first, and then I felt like they transported me to somewhere else. Yeah. So wherever I was at first, I was asleep. I felt, I don't know how I felt. I was asleep. All I hear is demons, y'all, laughing. Y'all. I'm smiling. But it's like, it's so crazy how real this was to me. Like, I was really being attacked. The enemy, look, the little chatter, I don't know what they were saying. It was like they was talking, but I didn't understand what they were saying. It was like a little mouse. And then it was laughing like the most demonic chatter, the most demonic laughing I've ever heard in my life. And it was almost like they was doing it sneakily. It wasn't like a like a out loud, like ha 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 ha. No, it was like we got away with it type thing. Like I'm like, what? In my mind, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm really going through this. Because it's like I said, it was warm for me. I felt like in the spirit. And I'm knowing that this is the enemy causing this, but I don't know how to get out of it. And I feel like, but God is still on me. I'm still calling on Jesus in my life. Jesus, I know without a shadow of a doubt, you can get me out of this. I know. I'm never opening my mouth though. I was too scared to. Around that time, I never prayed again out my mouth. Those whole 10 days, I'm in my mind praying. I'm in my mind like, God, I want to get back to my babies. That's the only thing that I cared about was God and my babies. While in this mental institution, I purposely called the pastor, purposely calling my mentor, purposely calling people just to get a feel of things. Because I might not be in my right mind, but God, it was as if all demonic was going on. But it was like an inch of God. Like I could see God a little bit. It's as if like the walls was closing in on me. But I'm like, oh, I can still see God a little bit. I still know this was not right. I still, y'all, I see why people can go crazy. And you know what? While I was in there sidetracked, while I was in there, I'm like, most of these people just see the spiritual world. They probably see demons. They probably spoke it. And that's probably why they're in here. Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. I'm gonna get to that a little later. So I finally get out of there. But let's pause on that. I'm gonna backtrack. The day before I left the house with my kids, my family came to get me. Y'all, I was laying in the bed. And I started screaming. It felt like I was being electrocuted. Kid you not. I know it was witchcraft, some black magic, something. But the realness of it, when I say from head to toe, Every inch of my body felt like it was being alert. And while I was sleeping, I knew someone right that night too. I knew it was the Holy Spirit. I knew something wasn't right that night. And I didn't pray. In my mind, I was just still like, God, I just didn't know what to pray. I closed my eyes, and every time I closed my eyes, it's like I seen a bright light, but I knew it wasn't God. Like bright, like I was about to, like my body was about to be transported to another dimension. Oh my God, something else I forgot. I gotta touch on that. It was like I seen a bright light. Yeah, when I say my body, it didn't even feel like fire. It felt like somebody plugged in it felt like I got electrocuted, y'all. I don't know how to explain it. My whole body, I can't even say on fire. It did not feel like fire. It felt like I got electrocuted. My whole body is like a shot. And I'm screaming like, ah, I'm screaming to the top of my lungs. I'm screaming, I'm screaming, I'm screaming, I'm screaming. I'm gonna tell you about my astral projecting. I think that's how you say it. This was after I seen the demon, and I was so fearful at my house. One day I was like, God, and then because I didn't see anything, but I felt it this day. My kids were sleeping, and it's like as soon as I closed my eyes, my body, like my soul, my spirit, whatever, my soul left my body, and I can see I can see the room. I can see my baby's laying there, but I'm up like this. I can see my room, and I'm up, and then it's dark, and then it's like I see maybe stars, like colorful though, and I'm like, it's like, shoo. And now I'm looking at leaves and the trees, and I'm looking inside a house with like cartoon characters. I thought that was God too, y'all, because I felt I felt the demonic, and I said God, and I was like, phew. I thought that was God, y'all. It wasn't God, and then it wasn't nothing demonic when I left my body. I felt like it was God, but it wasn't. So now I'm gonna fast forward again to I'm out of the mental institution, and it's like a weight lifted. Still demonic stuff. I don't see demonic activity anymore, but they still got a part of my mind, and my mind is battling of what's real, what's not, what's God, what's not. I got out on a Friday, went to church that Saturday. Yeah, nobody was like, oh my God, you've been away for 10 days. We so happy you out. Oh my God, like God has delivered her, y'all. She was going through this. Somebody embraced me with love. None of that. It was as if it was another day. As if they just seen me yesterday. I knew that was off. I knew God was trying to show me, look, they don't care. And I'm like, okay, God, is it because of them? So I'm battling with this in my mind for years. This was in 2021. I fell away from God. And I'm like, God, I don't know if I can trust you. Fell away from God. Started doing my own thing. Never went back to the church. It was my last time at the church. The day after I got out the mental institution, the next day I went to church. The last day there. Nobody checked on me. Nobody prayed over me, prayed for me. Fast forward to 2024. As I start back, I felt like God, first of all, I felt like God wanted me to start back going to my old church that I left at 14. That I left in my 20s. But I got baptized at 8. I felt like God wanted me to go back to that church. I went back. I was visited a few times. Around this time, did I visit a few times? I think maybe twice in January of this year, 2024. And a few days later, my house got shut up. Randomly shut up. I believe randomly shut up. I still don't know. I literally got shut up. And as it was happening, I didn't know it was gunshots. I thought somebody maybe was breaking in my house or something. I woke up screaming because I didn't hear the gunshots. Y'all, I'm kind of sick, so excuse me. I heard glass shattering. So I'm thinking somebody is like throwing a brick through my window or something trying to get in. So I'm screaming like, ah, I can't control this scream. You know how like in a scary movie, you're like, girl, why you screaming? They gonna come get you. When you in that, it's like no controlling. It was just my instinct. I'm like, ah. There was so much fear. So much fear gripped me. Come to find out, it's shots. Y'all, my video cut off again. But the bullets went through my windows, a wall, stopped at my door. One of them went through the window to the wall, through my bathroom, into the mirror. Mirror was shattered. The other one through, and that's where the thermostat be at, by the, on the outside of the bathroom, the wall. The other bullet went through my son's gaming chair into the TV that he usually be on, and through the wall. It was a few more, but I said all that to say, my son stayed playing on that game. My two youngest kids, they stay playing with that thermostat, y'all. They stay getting on my table playing with that thermostat. And where I say the bullet went through my room, that wall is the kitchen. Where I always, be on my phone. I charge my phone. I just be in the area. So it's like, before that though, before I even knew where the bullets went, I got up screaming. I knew, with everything in me, I knew this was an attack from the enemy. It maybe have been random, Somebody may have got the wrong house. There was a lot of drama going on over there in that area. Got the wrong townhome because they all look alike. There was a lot of drama going on next door. So who knows? But in the spirit, I knew that was an attack from the enemy. That happened a few days after I went to church. And that church prayed for me. She said, I feel like I want to pray over Vita and her family. She prayed for us. And then, days later, the gunshot, and we were protected. I think God was just saying, this is where you're supposed to be. This is the church that's going to cover you. I said all that to say, y'all, I know it was long, y'all. I know it was long. But y'all, every church is not of God. Every church don't love you. Some people are preaching doctrine of demons. These preachers are out to get your soul. The enemy is very crafty.